Mason Nation, and welcome to another weekly edition of Mason Cable News, your leader in on-campus news broadcasts. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, and I'm Ashley Hill.
And I'm Gina Jerome.
So the Mason weekends are always hustling and bustling.
Definitely, yes.
And this coming weekend, Mason Life is hosting an event on Merton Hall. They are having a life safety fair.
Oh, that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. It's about fire safety. I've seen like a few just like posters around.
Yeah. Is that where they're going to do the fire dorm or dorm fire
Yep, they're going to
demonstration?
like a fire. And they're also going to bring in a helicopter and give people tours and answer questions about it. So
That's a really cool, great event Mason's having. You know, last weekend they had Family Weekend, and what was really exciting about Family Weekend was that there was a 5K run. So on Sunday, October 19th, as part of Family Weekend, the Office of Family Programs and Orientation Services held a 5K run/walk. This family-friendly run took participants all across George Mason's beautiful campus. The event began at 8 a.m. by the Center for the Arts near the Mason Pond, and all proceeds benefited GMU's Family Programs and Orientation Services. The event was timed by amazing race timing, and the results were Quincy Smith in first place with a time of 21 minutes and 53 seconds, Paul Constantini in second with a time of 22 minutes and 11 seconds, and Tim Hoffman closing entirely in third place with a time of 22 minutes and 12 seconds. Congratulations to all of the participants for their hard work, and we can't wait for next year's 5K run.
Wow. Two of the people's times were just a second apart.
So close.
I couldn't imagine. Those are really quick times, too.
Yeah, I don't think I could be that quick.
Yeah, me neither. Well, if you cannot wait until next year, the American Diabetes Association has an event for you. October 31st for most people is a time for ghosts, witches, and ghouls. But this year, something else is on George Mason's mind. The American Diabetes Walk is coming to Mason. It is nicknamed Step Out and is leaving its footprints all over the country. Step Out takes place in 125 cities nationwide. You can visit diabetes.org to read inspirational stories about why people participate in this annual walk. If you are interested, you can register online with the American Diabetes Association and be one of many patriots who are stepping out to pave a path to stopping diabetes. If you can't make the event, you can always donate online.
Wow, I'm really excited for the Diabetes Walk. I just might sign up pretty soon. This past week, George Mason University was entered into the Campus Kitchen Project's grant video competition. For the past week, patriots and people around the nation have been voting to give 3 schools a $5,000 grant to open their own campus kitchen. Unfortunately, George Mason finished 4th in the competition, just shy of the last spot to receive the grant. However, we would like to congratulate the University of Kentucky, the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and Walsh University on starting the next wave of campus kitchens. If you would like to see the submission video for George Mason this year, just log on to Mason Cable Network's YouTube page and check out last week's Mason Cable News broadcast.
Each year, the beginning of basketball season starts with Mason Madness. Once again, it was a show to see.
I was just talking to Vaughn Gray earlier about looking at the freshmen and saying 3 years ago, that was us.
Yeah.
Like, we was so excited to come out to Mason Madness. That was us.
Yeah.
He was like, it went fast, right? I said, yeah, it went real fast. Just to get out here and entertain our fans.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, to get out here and have fun as a team. And that's always a good thing, to have fun with your team.
We feel like we've got a chance to be one of the best defensive teams and rebounding teams in the Atlantic 10. If you defend and rebound in basketball, you got a chance to win most games. And I like this team. We've been picked to finish 13th in the league. Yeah. You know, I don't see it. I think our team has a chance to do much, much better than that.
Oh, that pass just off by Moore. Thompson
got a minute left. So when it comes
taking
to
it full court and with a reverse jam by Siobhan Thompson.
Look out, cameraman.
It's the Gold Squad going to push it up the court. Kiara Murray.
They got good ball movement. I give them that. They work it inside. Ooh,
yeah.
Way to work.
Well done there.
So
we got number 24, Tiffany Paget.
experience for us, and they're teaching us something new, and we're teaching them something new. Like, we're learning how to play hard every possession, like every single possession. Don't take no breaks off, because if you do, somebody's gonna come take a spot. So they're coming out here and challenging us, and we're challenging these guys. Like, you're in college now, you're not in high school, or you're not at a junior college. Like, this is like college basketball, college Division I basketball, so it's very intense. Like, practices are very hard, 3-hour practice, like going hard. You get about 4 or 5 water breaks. So it's not like they're slow bringing the ball up. No, like, if you bring the ball up slow, we're on the line running 35.
So with this event, what do you look most forward to when we have these?
I have to admit, I look forward to hearing Doc next.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time I've heard him since the last game of the previous season. And, of course, to see our fans, especially our students, who just create a great atmosphere here at the Patriot Center.
Up Trey Porter with another easy stump.
Nice little 180
little reverse there.
Yeah. Okay. Got the athleticism showing. I want to see Miles Tate dunk one.
I want to see Miles Tate dunk one, too.
Left it on the rim.
But that leaves Siobhan Thompson with an easy dunk.
For full-length interviews and full video coverage, log on to Mason Cable Network's YouTube page.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This annual campaign was launched by the National Breast Cancer Foundation. It is here to raise and increase awareness of the disease. Many organizations recognize this month. The NFL has teams across the board sport pink athletic wear like shoes and gloves. Even George Mason raises awareness by posting bulletin boards with facts to educate the residents. A lot of people know that breast cancer exists now, and now it's time to take it a step further. Visit the National Breast Cancer Foundation's website to create an early detection plan. Both men and women should have a plan to detect this disease early to help battle it. Visit the online community at nationalbreastcancer.org to hear stories, ask questions, and find answers.
On Sunday, October 26th, student government will be hosting Witch Watch, an annual event that provides free fun, food, games, and more to Mason Patriots and our surrounding Fairfax community. Come celebrate fall with different activities, crafts, games, and prize raffles. The event is located by the Rappahannock parking deck and takes place from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Free visitor parking will be available at the Rappahannock parking deck beside the festivities. Now, don't forget your costume, especially children, because this event is sure to be a hit.
Well, it has been a while, Mason Nation, but we are now bringing back our interview feature, Patriot of the Week. This past week, news director Tyler Byram sat down with Joe Gold.
Joe Gold, former manager of the men's soccer team. Now he's gone on to Loudon Soccer, but glad to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So how exactly would one want to be manager of the soccer team? How does that happen?
It's a pretty simple process, actually. You just, for me, for what I did, I just approached the head coach, Greg Andrulis. I was a sport management major here at Mason, and one of the requirements you have to do for that is take a practicum class. So the semester that I wanted to take it, a few weeks beforehand, I approached him and asked if I could come and just help out the team to fulfill this requirement.
3 years is a long time. What is one of your favorite memories in those 3 years?
The William & Mary game itself for the College Cup. I got to go down with the team and actually filmed the game, and so I was there in the stands, and the atmosphere was just absolutely electric. I mean, a lot of Mason fans traveled down for the game, and obviously it was televised, and so we had a huge audience back here that was watching the game, and I was live tweeting for the Mason men's soccer account, and yeah, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And when we scored that penalty to win it, to go through to face New Mexico, it was just brilliant.
So, yeah, as you mentioned, Atlantic 10 champions last year. As manager of the soccer team, do you happen to get one of those championship rings?
I did. I didn't wear it today. It's sitting at home, and it's well polished and shiny.
So I bring you on the show, and you don't even let me see one of the rings.
I know. I'm sorry. It honestly didn't even go through my brain. I really should have. But yes, I have one. I was fortunate enough because not all team managers get them, but I was fortunate enough that they got me one. So that was really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Not every day you get a championship ring.
It's true. It's true. I consider myself very fortunate.
And so Atlantic Championships, that's coming up in November. This year it's going to be actually in Richmond, I think, hosted by VCU. Going to be able to make it down. I mean, last year was in Dayton. That was a bit of a stretch for some people to travel. Right. But I know now with it being in Richmond, a lot of Mason fans are heading down. It could, if you get off work, be able to?
Hey, if I can get off work, I would absolutely love to go. I didn't actually know that it was going to be in Richmond, so that's good news to hear. Yeah, that makes my commute a whole lot easier, and I would absolutely love to get down there for a game or two.
So Joe's boss, if you're listening or watching right now, give this man off the weekend of the Atlantic Championship. He'll definitely be there, biggest Mason fan in the crowd, of course, and of course he will be supporting Loudon Soccer as well, helping you guys grow as a program. So, been a pleasure to have you on the show. I think that about does it for this episode of Patriot for the Week. Thank you for coming once again, Joe. I'm sure we'll be talking. We have season's not over yet in men's soccer, so we'll be meeting up a couple more games. But thank you for tuning in. For Joe Gold, I'm Tyler Byram. Back to you guys in the studio.
For the full-length interview, simply log on to YouTube and search Mason Cable Network.
Now we're going to head to a commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our MC News weather forecast as well as a sports report. Stay tuned, Mason Nation.
WGMU Radio and WGMURadio.com. Welcome to a special edition of the First Pick. You will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. I'm Ben Simpson on the phone today. We have Drew. How are you doing today, Drew? I mean, your kind of what made you decide to write a book about them?
You know, it wasn't my...
You're out in Maryland, right?
I am. I used to work with George Mason people that way.
Promote the book as much as possible. We're here around campus.
Thanks, dude.
All right, have a great one. You will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. You're listening to WGMU Radio on WGMURadio.com.
Welcome to the Mason Sports Report, and I'm your host, Sydney Peterson. This past weekend on Sunday, the sororities, fraternities, and other organizations played their flag football championships at the IM Fields. Champions were crowned as participants won their championship t-shirts. The next wave of intramural sports are futsal, volleyball, and basketball. And now moving on to athletic news. The golf team had an overall good finish at the Old Dominion OBX Collegiate. Mason finished 6th out of 16. The men's soccer team also had a good weekend as they defeated Fordham on Sunday in a final score of 1-0. The score was concluded due to the penalty kick conversion by Timmy Mulgrew, which took place just over 1 minute into the match. Their next game will be held against Davidson this Saturday at 7 p.m. This game will also recognize the Hall of Fame players from this year. The women's volleyball team also had a good game on Sunday as they defeated Davidson with a final score of 3-1. Next, they travel to Duquesne this Friday, and their game will be held at 7 p.m. With basketball season right around the corner, predictions and polls have been made. George Mason's women's basketball's very own Taylor Brown was named to be the Atlantic 10 preseason all-conference second team. I'll conclude with your usual reminder that the women and men's basketball season opener games will be held on November 14th. The women's team will take on Virginia Tech and the men will take on Cornell. And we'll be right back after our final commercial break.
WGMU Radio and WGMURadio.com. Welcome to a special edition of the First Pick. You will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. I'm Ben Simpson on the phone today. We have How are you doing today, Drew? I mean, your name, kind of what made you decide to write a book about them?
You know, it wasn't my...
You're out in Maryland, right?
I am. I used to work with George Mason people that way.
To promote the book as much as possible. We're here around campus.
Thanks, dude.
All right, have a great one. You will read. Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate it. You're listening to WGMU Radio on WGMURadio.com.
Welcome back to Mason Cable News. And following up from last week, GMView, the annual yearbook for George Mason, is still having photo sessions for this year's edition.
This year, GMView is inviting all Mason students, not just the seniors, to be featured in the yearbook. Students who would like to be featured in this year's GMView should attend one of the remaining Life Touch portrait sessions, either today, October 22nd, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., or October 23rd, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All of them will be taking place in the Hub Room 1012. You can schedule an appointment online at www.ouryear.com using the school code 700 or by calling 1-800-OUR-YEAR 687-9327. Walk-ins are handled on a first-come, first-served basis with a $10 sitting fee. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to preserve your Mason memories.
I was actually thinking about doing that. I think that would be great.
I think you would look great in a portrait.
Thank you. And now for everyone's favorite, the tweets of the day. This past week, we asked for you to send us your Family Weekend photos and use the hashtag GMUFamilyWeekend. Our first tweet is from G33KGirl, Family Fun Time at George Mason News, The Corner Pocket, hashtag GMU Family Weekend.
Oh, go Family Weekend.
Yeah.
She had a great time.
Corner Pocket, I think, had free play.
Yes, they did.
Last weekend, so that's probably where she was at, which is pretty cool.
And she took the time to go with her family, so that's great.
They did. It was so lovely seeing everyone with their little sisters playing around.
We need some kids on Mason. We need some kids on Mason's campus. We really do. Our second tweet of the day is from @ArkwellKS. Waiting for hashtag Gabriel Iglesias at hashtag GMU Family Weekend. Ooh, yes, he was pretty excited. I know a lot of people on our Mason campus, or even just not even around the Mason community, but still came out to watch Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, I heard he was hilarious. I heard it was all new material. Like he had the whole entire crowd just rolling.
Yeah, I wish I had gone.
Yeah, me too.
But it was great. It was an amazing opportunity. For this week, we want to see what your opinions are of 4 George Mason Patriots managing the Kansas City Royals to the World Series. To see your tweet on TV next week, use the hashtag Patriots in the Majors. Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We did a story about that last week.
Yes, we did, yeah.
How a lot of people who used to work at Mason are now working for the Royals, which is really cool.
We're taking over.
We are taking over the world. Well, that's all we have for you for this edition of Mason Cable News. As a heads up, this year's registration is open for Mason Lobbies 2015. Log on to masonlobbies2015.eventbrite.com to reserve a spot and more information to be provided next week. I'm Ashley Hill.
And I'm Gina Jerome. Have a safe weekend, Mason Nation.